Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Not.
The 22nd day of May. CJ Nasello, it's our daily show, and in just a couple of minutes, we're going to be talking to Emily Hemingway, getting the latest out of the wedge, Alton Works, and so much more. But coming up in this show also, we're going to be talking to Calvary Baptist Church, learning about their summer activities for all the little ones and your families. Plus, coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, we're talking to Cloud9 Sports League over in Bethalto. This is really cool. They saw a need to really add more to their recreational sports in Bethalto, so they decided to do it. Now they have a really cool 3v3 soccer tournament coming up. We'll talk a little bit about how the league kind of got started, how we can be a part of it, and where it's going from here. Then at 10:35, we're going to be talking to Nathan Kerpan from Benchmark Mortgage. He's going to fill us in on all the work he's doing each and every day. He has a really cool power growth group that he's going to fill us in on too. So one of the members of the North Alton Godfrey Business Council, and really just a good guy. So looking forward to all of those conversations today, but I am getting out of town right after this show, right around 11 o'clock today, too. So excited to hit the road and go hang out for a few days. But we have brand new shows. I wanted to fill you guys in coming up on Thursday, Friday, and on Memorial Day, Monday. We have a lot of great content that you haven't seen before, brand new interviews, all pertinent to things happening in the next couple of weeks, and wanted to make sure that you were all filled in and in the know on that. So while I'm waiting for Emily, let me fill you in on Centerstone. If you're looking for a fresh start on the road to recovery, a life free from addiction's possible, and it does start at Centerstone. Centerstone is that national leader in mental health and substance use disorder treatment for people of all ages. With a commitment to delivering care that truly changes people's lives, Centerstone's dedicated clinicians use evidence-based practices in their treatment programs. So this means the recovery care plan is developed for you and not one of those tried and maybe it worked for a couple of years, maybe it worked for some, maybe it didn't. You know that you're going to get the results you need because their care staff is that dedicated to your needs and what would work best for you. Listen, there's so many unknowns on the road to recovery, but one thing you can know for sure is that Centerstone will be a constant guiding force for you on your recovery journey. Addiction, it can happen to anybody, but so can recovery. So start working towards your recovery today by visiting Centerstone online at recoverwithus.org. That's recoverwithus.org, or by calling HOPE 123. That's 1-877-HOPE 123, or hang out with Centerstone and myself on the first and last Wednesday of the month as we tackle that very important topic. Emily Hemingway, are you on the line with me now by chance?
I'm here. You hear me?
Absolutely. How are we doing this morning?
I'm great. It's summer and it's going to be a gorgeous day.
It really is, and just really beautiful downtown Alton right now. We had our sky cam up before the show started, and it just looks great out there. And, right off the bat, how's everything going with the Wedge Innovation Center?
Things are taking off. It's moving so fast. Fall can't come fast enough. The building is under construction, and all of the programs and partnerships are building as we speak. So it's a really exciting time, not only at the Wedge, but in what's going on in Alton.
Absolutely. And Emily, fill me in on how you joined up with the Alton Works team. How did that come about and develop?
Yeah, so I am the founding executive director of Tech STL, which is the tech council here in St. Louis. So we serve the 15-county bi-state. So we serve both the 7 counties in Missouri as well as the 8 counties in Illinois. And, this is actually a really small world. The tech and innovation community in the St. Louis region it's a big city, but a small town. And so as the Wedge has really been developing over the past few months, we've been hearing some incredible stories and all the work that's been going on in Alton over the past several years. And so out of that partnership, we were able to really find some phenomenal synergy with the work that Tech STL is doing across the broader region in driving the emerging technology space and the data economy, and being able to really get invested in what's going on over in Metro East and on the Illinois side of the river. And so it just presented this really awesome opportunity to bring the weight of Tech STL, our massive network of members and individuals, and be able to really start growing this space over in the town of Alton. And so it's been perfect timing, I think, on both fronts. And the combination of the two efforts, I think, has really created this firestorm of excitement of how technology and innovation is really brewing across the broader region.
100%. And, as this goes forward, fill me in on some of the things that us in the Riverbend community can kind of expect in the next couple of months, because I know summer's going to be busy, and with the new developments with Lucas Row and all of that going down that corridor, there's a lot to look out for. But specifically with the wedge, what can you kind of fill us in on some of the milestones that are coming up along the way?
Well, so the building itself will be open this fall. So we're looking at the September, October, November stage where we're able to start really bringing people in and hosting events. But we are actively building the community as we speak, right? So we're having conversations about the anchor tenants and the companies that are wanting to participate in the co-working space. We're launching initiatives right now around AI and data and health and all of these great initiatives that are going to be based in the Alton area. Some of the anchor tenants, like our partnership with SIUE, is already under development. And so being able to really start exploring what Alton is going to open up to the whole region around really driving the innovation opportunity that we have. AI is so hot right now. Data is so hot. And so really being able to be this bridge for the region of how we're supporting the research universities and the tech startups and the corporations really in this space, that we can start having those conversations and building those networks now. And so that's what we're doing in preparation for the building to actually open this fall, so that by the time we open those doors to this new world-class innovation space in downtown Alton, we already have a lot of the partners and the momentum and the traction in place to be able to really hit the ground running.
Absolutely. And Emily, how is that going to look as it all comes together? Because that's what I always was so fascinated with so many moving parts to this innovation center and this hub and incubator. I'm sure that there was, the conversation on, well, how does this, how is it going to look, and how are we going to lay this out, and what's it going to, kind of look like for the public too? And now when we open the doors here in the summer or in the fall here, how is it going to lay out inside the wedge when it comes to those partnerships and with SIUE, and when it comes to providing those opportunities to the community? How do they spread out inside the building?
So first of all, I want to say the group that's been driving this work in Alton, the Alton Works team, has really been making strategic investments for over 5 years in driving this foundational growth, that it made it so that when the wedge opportunity presented itself, they had already done a lot of the big work, right? That there's such a powerful combination between the entire town of Alton being now, within the next year, having access to broadband, that everybody's going to get online. They're all going to have high-speed internet. That is really opening up opportunity for all of the residents of Alton to get connected. But then being able to have the wedge really is this anchor facility, that it's not only helping the town of Alton to get connected to the region, it's giving us this venue that we're able to bring all of the MSA to Alton, right? That it's really opening up the door and creating this phenomenal state-of-the-art facility that is. So I've taken several tours. I've walked through the space. I mean, right now it's under construction, but what they are building is incredible. It's one of the most advanced spaces that not only, in Madison County, but in the broader St. Louis region. And frankly, going toe to toe with a lot of programs that are in the state of Missouri as well. And so this is really giving us the chance to have this flagship space that's not only allowing the residents of the Alton community and Metro East to have this incredible facility to now operate out of, but it's also bringing in a lot of great innovators, thought leaders, powerhouse organizations to now have a presence in the Alton community, because it's bridging between the great opportunities that are happening in Missouri and in Illinois, and really helping to leverage the broader conversations that we're having within these topics like AI and data and health equity and all of those things. So I can't wait for the space to open. It's 4 floors of, it's a massive building. It's like 10,000 square feet. They're outfitting it with all the best technology, with state-of-the-art infrastructure. And it's just going to be a beautiful, classy innovation space in the town of Alton that's going to help attract folks from all across the region.
That and I'm really looking forward to that too. And Emily, just to touch on that really briefly too, just a brief follow up. Is there going to be certain floors dedicated to the partnerships with SIUE? Are there going to be certain floors dedicated to certain sectors of what the Alton Works footprint is?
Yes, absolutely. So we are definitely learning from the models in other innovation districts and co-working spaces that are working so well across the region. One of our partner organizations is T-Rex, which is in downtown St. Louis. They have done such a great job of designating certain floors to different focus areas. And we're definitely following their lead on that. And so with it being 4 floors, we're able to designate different spaces on those floors towards different focus areas so that we're able to then recruit partners and companies to have a presence within that space. So one of the core focuses that we have at the Wedge is going to be around AI.
Yep.
And AI and data innovation. And so being able to really carve out a corner of the second floor that's really designated to supporting AI innovators, departments of universities. SIUE will be there. So will a lot of anchor tenants in large corporations, being able to really facilitate just these conversations around what's happening in AI innovation, not only across St. Louis and the MSA, but across the Midwest as a whole. So SIUE is one of our largest anchor tenants. They have been incredibly supportive from the beginning on this, helping to really drive the work and the bridge aspect of connecting the research experts and leaders at SIUE as well as partners across the broader metro. They will have a large presence, I believe, on the 3rd floor. And so we're making sure now that we're having conversations with those big anchor tenants that help really drive kind of the framework of the facility. But that, at the end of the day, this is a co-working space as well. And so really making sure that we've got plenty of space for the freelancers, the individuals, the companies that just want to have one office there, that they've got maybe a handful of staff that are working in the Metro East area, or that they just want to have a presence in the spaces like the AI. So we're in the process of developing what's called MAIN Labs. It's MAIN, so it stands for Midwest AI Network, that will have the presence there at the Wedge. And so really just trying to create all the stickiness between these great partners so that we can have the power of bringing people together, that's really what triggers a lot of new innovation across the region, where you're able to meet new folks and partner with new companies in order to really drive your projects forward.
Well, and on top of that too, and that really sounds fantastic. And on top of that too, Emily, as we're talking here, it seems like with the Wedge, it's really geared towards with those partnerships with SIUE. Not really geared towards, but it really welcomes in that newer generation into Alton. And is this one of Alton is this one of Alton Works's ways too of maybe bringing in some newer technology and providing that opportunity to maybe somebody that's younger that doesn't really necessarily want to leave or they want to move into the community? Is that part of the blueprint mission too?
Absolutely. I mean, the reality is that especially with ChatGPT and as quickly as AI is moving, the world of innovation has changed. Business is more innovative. Jobs as a whole are more innovative. That if we're really wanting to appeal to that next generation of talent, we're having to build the spaces that they want to be part of. And we're having to cater to the kinds of technology that they want to be engaged within. And so helping to put not only the town of Alton on the map of being a destination for this frontline talent that is entering the workforce and is really trying to find its place, but also being that anchor point for the St. Louis region, that Alton is such a phenomenal space to live, that it has all of the amenities of the beautiful environment and outdoor recreation and tons of phenomenal houses. Now with the high-speed internet and a space like the Wedge, it's making it even more appealing to that new professional space as well as the young families that are looking for a great place to call home. Now having the means to be able to either work a phenomenal hybrid job, remote job, or to launch their own innovation-based startup the wedge is really helping to open up those opportunities for the community of Alton, and to have other choices for this broader tech community of St. Louis.
Absolutely. And, just going back or following up on that too with the city of Alton, take me through the partnership that you guys are feeling with the city, because I know that, this was something that was welcomed by, city council and committee of the whole, and really has seemed to be really a good fit. Take us through those conversations with the local officials, our elected officials, and, their thoughts on it and the support that the city's been showing, and just your thoughts on it.
Whenever you embark upon a multi-year revitalization project, which is what the Alton Works group has been navigating,
Hmm.
you're always having to continually build those relationships with the local political community, right? You have to go hand in hand with your local government. And, this has been a long process of developing this. I think the town of Alton and the local officials are really starting to see the level of investment that this effort has had in the town. Transformation takes time, and it takes working through hurdles and complications. And so knowing that our team is working so closely with the town of Alton, and that we've had those hard conversations, but we've also been able to overcome them and start achieving some really significant results for the community. I think that we're getting to the place where the results are going to be able to start really proving why this was so worth the time, energy, and investment. Being able to start watching the community transform before our eyes. And I'm so excited to have the wedge open, because I think it's going to be a real demonstration, not only to the local officials and our partners in the community, but to the residents themselves, as to what's possible when we do come together. And we dream big, and we make big choices and big investments, and we make these things possible, not just for us, but for our children and for the future of Alton. So I think that we're at this turning point where things are about to start to become real. It's not just about selling the idea of what's possible, but it's about now making that possible happen, and entering this next phase of bringing it all to life. So it's a big moment for our team. It's also a big moment for the town of Alton, as things are starting to really click in. And all this work is starting to really come together into something really impressive, and powerful for the people of the community.
And it's one of those things too that I know that there's so much excitement, and when that opening date does come into play, and we're just a couple of days down the road from it here in a few months, I know that it's all going to be about the wedge conversation and those doors opening. But Emily, going back, just wanted to touch base on this AI network that's being developed. Can you fill me in a little bit more on that, because that's something that is definitely of interest to me and our listening audience here. We had a few texts come in wanting to know a little bit more information about it. Could you provide us some?
Absolutely. So we are formalizing this as we speak. It's definitely something that Tech STL as an organization has been able to watch over the past 2 years, as AI has just completely transformed the innovation landscape. And the fact that we don't have more consortiums right now that are actively supporting the AI and data innovation space is proving that we do need this kind of network. And so the wedge has presented this opportunity to be able to really solidify. So Maine is looking at building a network of partners that is not just across the MSA, but is broadly across the Midwest footprint. So we're thinking, the 8 states within, surrounding Missouri and Illinois, and being able to bring together, the universities and higher education departments that are focusing on AI innovation, as well as the corporate partners that have that emphasis as well, and really driving and rooting it in the frontline innovators that are either in the startups or in the mid-sized tech companies that are really on that forefront of AI innovation, and how we are not only getting more invested in the role and importance of data for the region, right? That we're helping to drive more conversation around investing in a regional data integration system, in looking at the security of public data, as well as being able to build relationships to start sourcing more internal data across the region. And then at the end of the day, how is that then applied and implemented through AI technology, right? And so it's really marrying these two worlds. Is how is the wedge uniquely positioned to be this data steward, almost building this data network and partnership, so that then we're able to look at how the power of AI can really transform that data and advance all of the industries that we're engaging here. So ag tech, food tech, health tech, education, economic development, businesses, right? That this is industry agnostic. And so what we're really looking at is how we are in a place where we can start building the main network of partners to start having those conversations and getting a sense of what kind of investment we need to make, not only in the physical space and physical technology to have an active AI lab at the wedge, but also the digital footprint, right? AI is largely infrastructure that lives online. And so how, as a collective, we can make big moves to make strategic investment in the kind of resources that this region needs to be able to really elevate this conversation and drive this frontline research in how AI is being leveraged and can be leveraged within all the industries that we have across the St. Louis MSA.
That's really interesting, and I mean a really interesting conversation, and one that I'm kind of a little bit surprised about this morning. Emily, I love this. This is something that is really really unique. And now take me through some of those some of that data sharing, because I know that data could incorporate a lot of different things. Because for us in news, RiverBender, we have our own programs that our software team kind of developed with AI and that we use, not for our stories, but for my show, like on the state and history, automatic responses and things like that to do. But in terms of, ag and in terms of healthcare and all of those really important industries, and even just for small business owners and resource tools, there's a whole lot of data that could be shared between, especially if we're talking 8 states. And are you looking almost at like a consortium of different partners that come together, provide that data, and then you develop the product or better the tools afterwards? Am I on to something there?
Absolutely. You get
Okay.
it all, man.
Oh, good.
Well,
I don't get, hold on, I don't get right
exactly
very often. I'm not right very often.
Well, let me officially confirm. You know what you're talking about. I mean, that's the same angle that we're taking here. And I think that, so what we have the opportunity to really explore right now is to invest and double down on the critical infrastructure that we need across the metro to be able to have this real meaningful partnership across all of these players, right? And so when it comes to AI, the quality of what you're building is reflected in the quality of your data. One of the biggest challenges that we have across the St. Louis MSA is that we do not have a major investment in the critical data infrastructure. We don't have an open data office because there is a separation between the St. Louis City, St. Louis County, which is typically where that lives. We don't have a regional data integration system that is safely managing that data and sharing that with the region. And so one of the things that we're looking at is if we're able to fundraise and start the process of developing that data integration system and be able to serve as that data steward for the region, be the combination of Tech STL as an organization, as well as having the wedge and the partnership in the town of Alton. What that opens up, because when it comes to the data, we're looking at really 3 core buckets of data. We've got the public data that is already available, that is out there, real estate data, health data, educational data, that is there, that we can improve access to that data. Mm-hmm. There's also then the second bucket, which is organizational or industry data that needs to be provided in order to shed some light on that next level down. So, a great example of that is geospatial is one of the biggest industries here in St. Louis right now. Geospatial as a whole is not cleanly identified within public data, right? So a lot of geospatial jobs are actually classified as IT jobs, right?
And I did not know that.
Yeah, it tends to be one of those combination industries that, like, the government itself doesn't track geospatial jobs. So a lot of them are like data analytics or software development or cybersecurity, right? Or like security jobs. And so in order for us to be able to track how the geospatial industry is actually growing, a lot of that data has to be then translated through the organizations, right? The organization itself has to say, even though this is a software developer job, it's actually a geospatial job. That's something that we have to source from the organization to be able to track it. The third bucket is the data that is very internal, tends to be proprietary. It's hard to get from the organizations or companies themselves. But if we're able to build that strong working relationship, we're able to either source the data itself or at least source the trends from the companies.
Wow.
That requires having infrastructure that people trust, as well as having relationships that companies trust. And so this is a very complex process. That data backbone is critical for our region to be able to track the health and progress of our workforce, of our economy, of our businesses, and being able to have this data structure that then the companies are able to access, that they're able to source from that data to then start implementing, using AI to implement that data within their tech systems, within their new innovation, right? It spins off so many opportunities for businesses because they then can source the data that they need to build great products and to build new companies. So all of these things, it's a rippling effect, but it's a major investment in the beginning.
Well, Emily, this is something to really be excited about. It sounds really promising. And now, on the flip side of all of that, too, I was hearing, all these different spokes on this gigantic wheel, and it definitely is a project you're undertaking, but one that has the potential to really have some impact here. As things get going with the AI, the AI development and organizational structure you guys are attempting, is there going to be an opportunity, and going back just to here locally, maybe for a small business owner who, has maybe done something for 10 years but doesn't know anything about the industry, and the technological changes, they're just trying to, kind of stay afloat. Are they going to have opportunities to stop inside the wedge and kind of learn about that information and use it for their own small business as well?
Absolutely. And that's one of the big priorities that we've been looking at, because so the Alton Works and the Alton Forward initiatives that they've been able to start really tackling. Alton Forward is the group that's looking at the integrating broadband, but they've also received funding around digital education, right? And so one of the biggest priorities that we've been looking at here is that we're trying to invest in the full spectrum of entrepreneurs and tech talent, because at this point, tech education can transform any job in any business, right? And so if we are really investing in the transformation of the region, it starts with education. It starts with exposing our community to the resources and opportunities that they may not know is available. That any business, when you introduce new technology to the business, it gives that business the potential to access new markets and to increase revenue, to streamline systems, right? So all of this educational piece has to be taken more seriously across the region, no matter what stage of life or stage of business or stage of career that you're in, because this is a powerful tool. And so we're taking that very seriously, right? That we're investing in access points along the entire pipeline. That we're launching a new CDFI, which is a Community Development Financial Institution. So it's an early stage bank that supports businesses that are not bankable, but that they need those first $35,000 to $50,000 loan, and specifically looking at technology integration. And so it can be an existing business that's trying to integrate a new piece of technology. It can be a tech-based business that's getting launched, right? So we're trying to really think about, for us to really take ownership of our role in serving the region through this lens, we need to look at every stage through this process. And that requires educational support, that requires funding support, that requires data and infrastructure support, and new connections, right? So trying to really look at all of the different facets of rolling this out and allowing it to be as impactful as possible. Those are definitely some of the boxes that we're looking to check. And so we're also looking for folks that are eager to come in and support that process. So there are a lot of members of the community that can come in as trainers or advisors, as mentors through this, as we're really building this community of supporting tech opportunity, regardless of who you are or what you're doing.
Absolutely. And Emily, it's been a pleasure speaking with you about this. And as we get closer to the opening, I'd love for you to come back on and join me. And also, as we get closer to that opening, I'd love to stop by and see all what you guys have in store and do a little bit of a tour myself too, because this is something that we need to stay up to date and in the know on, as this could directly impact our region in a very big way. Emily Hemingway with Alton Works and Tech STL, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Thanks. I'm always happy to come back.
Awesome. Before we take a quick pause here, let me fill you in on one of our best partners, and that's Centerstone. If you're looking for a fresh start on the road to recovery, a life free from addiction is possible, and it starts with our friends at Centerstone. Centerstone is that national leader in mental health and substance abuse disorder treatment for people of all ages, and with a commitment to delivering care that truly changes people's lives, Centerstone's clinicians use evidence-based practices in their treatment programs. So that means the recovery care plan is developed for you, based on the latest science. There's so many unknowns on that road to recovery, but one thing you can know for sure is that Centerstone will be that constant guiding force for you on your recovery journey. Addiction, again, it can happen to anybody, but so can recovery. So start working towards your recovery today by visiting Centerstone online at recoverwithus.org. That's recoverwithus.org.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
It's a living thing. It's a terrible thing to lose. It's a given thing. What a terrible thing to lose.
Sorry, I'm getting there. Hold on. Emily's gone now. We're talking to Mike and Brent. Calvary Baptist Church, VBS, and More Than Conquerors Music Camp. Getting ready to take, center stage. How about that? I like it. How are we doing?
CJ, thanks for having us today.
So, number one, how are we looking as the summer is now here, and we are a summer away from the opening of Calvary Christian School, too?
Yeah.
That's cool stuff. It's exciting.
It is. CCS kicks off in August, and enrollments are ongoing. We've hired our three teachers so far.
Awesome.
3 different levels. So God's doing some great things.
It's exciting. And now, so as we start the summer now, what's up first? What's on deck?
Yeah, so Vacation Bible School is June 10th through the 14th, VBS. It's Breaker Rock Beach, and so it's more like a Northwest beach. Then I brought this in for you today, CJ, because I'm not sure how much time you're in this room, but we watch
Too much.
But you have tremendous energy, and we just wanted to bring you something to help pass the time. But it's not so much the Florida beach theme for VBS this year. It's more like a Northwest beach. I like to think of the movie Goonies when they were up there in the Northwest.
Yeah.
And so the whole motto is, in a world of shifting sands where, one day milk is good for you, the next day milk is the worst thing for you, God's truth never changes, and you can count on that. You can rely on that. Even though it may not make sense to us sometimes, it always makes sense to God, and we can trust that. So we want kids to come and hear the good news about Jesus. June 10th to 14th, 9 to 12 in the morning. We're going to have activities, recreation. We're going to burn calories, so when parents come pick them up, they'll be all ready for nap. They're going to hear the good news of Jesus, which is the most important thing a child can know, especially in today's day and age, that God loves them and He has a plan for their life, and they can trust that. And then we're going to do, of course, food. We're going to give them more things. We're going to give them the opportunity to give to a mission trip. Our church is taking a group of people to Guatemala this summer on a mission trip.
Oh, wow.
And so the kids are going to be able to give towards that and learn, what a mission trip is. We have a group of folks that are going to tell kids about Jesus and help them. So they'll get to do that. And then, of course, they'll learn the music, Breaker Rock Beach. They always love doing that and the motions to that. So,
really, what's the music to it?
So, Breaker Rock Beach is the name of the theme song.
Oh,
and that
okay.
That just talks about in a world of shifting sands.
I've never seen the movie. That's why I think that's my problem here.
Oh. Yeah,
my age is showing today.
Well, it's a new theme. Like every year they come out with a new theme, so it'll be like a music video that we follow to teach us the motions to the song.
Yeah, and they actually write music for each summer. I mean, each VBS.
Okay.
So
that's
it's
really
original
cool.
music, and it's pretty cool.
That is really cool. And now you brought in some rocks today and a shell here. What are some of those writings on them?
Yeah. So this past Sunday and this Sunday again at church, we invited people that came to write the name of a person, a child, or their initials on here that they would love to see come to VBS, and to just commit to pray for that child all the way up until June 10th and through that week. So that that week of VBS, we're going to put these rocks and these seashells all over the stage and let the kids know, hey, God knows your name. And you've been prayed for, and God loves you. And your name is on one of these rocks up here. And so we want you to know, parents, we want you to know, too, that God loves your kids.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we're doing just as a practical way to show God's love to kids.
That's really cool. And I think it's a great thing to tie in a really, a fun theme, too, to really learn about, the love of God, too, and the Word of God, too. That's really wonderful. And now, what are you looking forward to the most as summer camp or Vacation Bible School starts taking off?
I think the kids coming in and hearing something different.
Yeah.
They hear a lot of things, and those things change. And, with kids, one day they want to be this, one day they want to be that. One day, when I was a little kid, I wanted to be the starting center fielder for the Cardinals. Well, here I am. Our desires change.
He's actually just signed yesterday. Marmol doesn't know what else to do no more.
I went into the office. I said, "Is there an application for a center fielder?" But No, in a world where things just change all the time, we want kids to know, and that's the best thing is looking and having a conversation with a child and telling them, hey, God loves you, and what do you think about that? And inviting them to have a safe place where they can talk about what's going on inside in here, because a lot of times kids don't feel like they can share that because I might have some weird thoughts. I might have some things in my life that are hard to talk about, and we want kids to know that it doesn't surprise God.
Well, and too, especially, we've talked about this before, gone are the days to where you just had the landline and, the street lights that turned on to know that it was time to go home and the world turned off. And now you have, 7 and 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds that are on their phone for 12 hours a day looking at someone live a false life on social media and some of the temptations that come with that.
Sure.
And so, in this, it's a great way for a young family, a child, to know that, hey, there's more to life than just kind of going out having fun and raising all types of ruckus. You can go and just find your peace through God and really go through life that way too.
It's interesting you said that because it made me think of this. One of the themes in VBS is that God's plan is best. We have our plans and our ideas for what we want to do, but God's plan is the best thing for our life. There's this Three Stooges episode. I'm not sure if you used to watch that, but there's this Three Stooges episode where they're learning dance from this dance teacher, and she says, "Now follow me closely and do exactly what I do." And so she starts to go into this dance pose. Well, then this bee flies into her dress, and she starts going, making all these crazy motions and just going all over. Well, what do? They start copying that, and she ends up jumping out of a window into a fountain, and they all do that too. And a lot of times in life, we just look around for what everyone else is doing, and we copy it.
It's a snow globe.
Not knowing, hey, God has the best plan for our life, and we need to look at Him. So.
And how's the structure going to break down for Vacation Bible School? What's that look like? When do registrations close? Is there still time?
Yeah, there's still time. They can register online at our website, calvarycaresforyou.org/registrations. They can click a QR code. I can hold that up to there.
Get a little scan going there.
You have to pause that, but you can go to the QR code and sign up. And then at the Memorial Day Parade this Monday, we'll have a tent in front of Walgreens if people want to come by and pick up an Icy Pop or register. We'll be able to register there. We'll be walking around handing out Icy Pops. So there's a lot of ways to register if they want to come on board. We'd love to have as many kids as we can come in.
Really cool. You guys have a moment to stick around. We still got to talk about the Conquerors here. Yeah. And we got more to discuss. I got to pay a quick bill, though. It's been a busy show. I forgot I crammed everything into one day before I left to say, I'm really working hard here, At 9:43, we'll take a quick break, but this conversation will continue right after this in the heart of the 618.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
DJ Mike Keith.
This is where I am today. Let me show you where I started.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Even if they say you're wrong, well, it's alright. Sometimes you gotta be strong. Well, it's
I just wish I could kind of, sit there and just ramble around. Those guys were just having the time of their life. They might not have had the longevity that we might have, but they had fun, Welcome back, 946, a little bit of change on RiverBender.com. Last live daily show until next Tuesday. How about that? And we're 2 more guests away. How about that? But we still got to talk about the Conquerors, More Than Conquerors music camp that's coming down the pipeline, too. This is really cool, Brent. Now, your guys' music programs are really strong.
Well, we have a great time. We, especially when it comes to kids, we want to, there's not I know the schools are not doing as much music as they used to.
Yep.
So, the church is trying to help with that and take that over. We started music camp back last year and had a great time. Last year, I was getting ready to give the theme, and I shouldn't have because now I've lost it. Rise Up was the music camp last year.
That's right.
And, yeah.
I remember that actually. now that we're talking out loud here.
And this year's theme is More Than Conquerors, and so it'll be July 29th, Monday, July 29th through Friday, August 2nd, 9 to noon, and same place to register there at calvarycaresforyou.org/registration. And also then at the Memorial Day Parade, there'll be QR codes and stuff that they can do, click on to register there. But it's going to be a great time, learning new music, learning to sing. We'll have, I think last year we had some instruments out and kind of did a instrument petting zoo, quote unquote, for them to kind of get the feel of them and check them out. So just a lot of fun, a lot of music, and, a good time.
Well, and now take me through the theme of this year. What's the message behind it?
Well, it comes from Romans 8:35 through 39, just talking about how through Jesus Christ we are more than conquerors, and like, we've talked about even just a few minutes ago, kids are bombarded with so much, and with social media they've got way too much access to stuff that they, you kind of hope to shelter your kids from,
right?
Until they're ready to be able to handle it. And so, they've got a lot going on, a lot of worries, a lot of concerns, a lot of stress. Mental health is such a big thing these days, even as we get into adulthood. And I think the reason for that is because as kids we just bombard our kids with so much and let them be bombarded with so much. So this is just to teach them the truth of God's word, that they can be more than conquerors through Jesus Christ. And if they'll just rely on Him for their life, and they'll be able to get through life a whole lot better.
Well, and I just like what you guys do because it's just such a different avenue than some of the other opportunities that are out there. Because even though there's nothing wrong with other summer camps and different things to do, it still has that kind of party atmosphere where it's like,
Sure.
let's just go have a bunch of fun. And what's that really teach our child, to go forward in life? It's not all just fun, games, and partying throughout the summer. There's different avenues to, find your spirituality, find your connection with God, but also just to kind of find your peace of mind too, and find that tranquility in life that a lot of people would pay top dollar for right now to get. And
Yes, sir.
that's why I think it's great what you guys do, because there's not a lot of that around here for our youth.
Sure.
It really isn't.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, and hopefully, get the word out and grow a little bit from last year. We had a great group last year.
You said it was pretty full, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a good sized camp, and again, looking forward to grow it this year. And like I said, a lot of music, a lot of singing, a lot of fun. And then we're also going to be, and Mike might want to speak to this, looking for a musical that's going to be in the future, and we'll start working with that and teaching that a little bit during the week.
What type of musical?
Yeah, so in our Awana program, which starts in September on Sunday nights, this year our artistic program, our side program, in that program. So kids will come, they'll learn Bible verses, they'll do recreation. It's almost like a VBS format. But then in the drama and the musical and the arts track, we're going to, as part of our Christmas program, we're going to be doing a short version of The Grinch. The kids will be doing that.
That's cool.
So they will be learning parts. There'll be narration, akin to what you would see in a school setting at the end of the year. So they'll be learning that play. But at More Than Conquerors, we're going to have a drama, theater, music track during this morning where they're going to come in and learn a selection from The Grinch.
That's really cool.
Yeah, to prepare for that.
Well, and The Grinch really has a lot of great messages when it comes to, faith, too. I mean, really does. That's awesome. I like it.
Yeah.
So going forward, throughout the summer, there's a lot of opportunities you guys provide throughout the year, really, even, too, for the youth, for families to come and be a part of things. Are there any additional events or any type of additional, services, masses that are coming up that you'd like to inform the public about? And welcome them in and join the fun at Calvary Baptist.
Yeah, we actually have a concert coming up this summer. I'll let Brent talk a little bit more about that. But this whole summer we have what we're calling homecoming summer at Calvary, where we have our life groups as usual at 9:15, where people can come and connect in small groups. And again, like I was talking about with kids, just talk about what's going on inside.
Yeah,
and see what God says about it. Because that can be a little hard for us to come and kind of be vulnerable. But God says come, because I already know nothing surprises me. So we come together, we pray together, and we look at what he says. At 9:15, those are on Sunday morning for all ages. And then at 10:30, we'll have one combined service at 10:30. You might meet someone new. And then we have events throughout the summer for families to come and connect at. And one of them is a concert we have coming up in July, I think it is.
That's right.
Brent, the floor is yours, Senator. Fill us in.
Well, that's why I behaved and I turned off my phone so well today so it wouldn't be a distraction. now I'm trying to get it booted back up in time to find that date.
Here, while you're looking for it, let me ask Mike another question. So let's do this. Mike, as we're going and talking about the Vacation Bible School, for parents that are out there, what are some frequently asked questions that you get about Bible school? Is lunch going to be provided? How long is it going to be? Give us some of those, quick answers for the public. If you
because if I'm a parent, I'm like, okay, what's going on there? And
because you're working and all that stuff,
So it's from 9 to noon, 9 in the morning. You can bring your child, to get registered that morning if you want to. And at about 9 o'clock, what we do is a big worship time, a big worship rally. So we do a song, we do our pledges, we do the mottos. We'll do another song. So we kind of get them woke up if they're still asleep. And so then from there, we go to our smaller groups, our Bible studies. We have a kindergarten group. We have our first and second, age appropriate, third and fourth, and then a fifth grade group that they go into. So they're with their peers
really cool.
For most of the morning. They'll do a rec time where they'll go into our gym and they will burn calories. They will be sweating by the time they leave, and then they'll have a snack time that morning as well, which will go along with the theme. And then at the end, they'll work on learning Bible verses that week, and all of that will go towards a point system. They'll be split into two groups, and that's kindergarten, third and fourth, and then first and second and fifth grade. And those groups all week long will be learning verses. They'll be collecting missions money for Guatemala, and they'll be doing other game challenges at the end of the morning at 11:30. For example, we'll come back in a big group time. Last year we had Rock'em Sock'em. So all of our pastors got up on stage last year with these big, huge inflatable boxing gloves. And the kids stood behind them with little bitty and used them as avatars to do Rock'em Sock'em. So that went towards points. I don't think anyone had to go to the hospital.
No, but I think there were a few too hard punches thrown. So,
there were some
hurt feelings.
Anyone's head pop off?
No biting of the ears, no low blows. But it was good for the kids to see having fun, like you were saying, CJ. We want them to have fun. And that all goes towards points. We've done a lot of things in the past.
I got to be a part of the next meeting after a Rock'em Sock'em.
Yeah, you could come by and do a live boxing. Hey, we got Howard Cosell. You could come by and do a live play-by-play. But we want the kids to have fun, and so VBS is going to be a lot of fun. And then at the end, we do a secure checkout for parents to come and pick their kids up at noon.
Really cool.
And it is free. The whole, a lot of things that happen during the summer. Parents will tell you there's a high cost in the hundreds of dollars, but this is a free thing because we want kids just to come and hear about Jesus.
And Mike, sometimes thousands of dollars for those summer activities, especially for any type of sports anymore. I mean, that's really, you're right, how things are going. And now Getting back to you, Brett. What's the name of this concert?
Right.
What are we going to hear?
My phone finally booted up. So Jason Crabb is coming in concert on July 19th. And Jason Crabb used to sing with his family a lot, but traveled with Gaither Vocal Band and the homecoming concerts that they would do. He's kind of a Christian country artist, so a little more contemporary. It's going to be a great concert, but we're looking forward to having him on the 19th, Friday the 19th. That's a ticketed event, Jason Crabb, but you can see more information. And just another thing, you mentioned all the different things that we offer. There's a guitar camp that we're going to do July 15th through 19th.
Cool.
So that's a little bit before More Than Conquerors Music Camp. But 15th through 19th, there's a guitar camp. And now that's really limited space-wise. We can only take about 6 or 7 kids. And we prefer them to be middle school age. But that will teach them very basics of a guitar.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's called No Fret Guitar Camp, and those guitars are donated. So at the end of the week, if they'll come to the entire music camp, the guitar camp, then they'll go home with the guitar. So that's kind of another cool thing.
Talk about the price of admission alone right there. That's amazing.
Yeah, No Fret Guitar Camp, July 15th through 19th. So, and any of this stuff that they want to keep an eye on, they can go to calvarycaresforyou.org or our Calvary Facebook page, which is easy to find on Facebook, and they can kind of find more information about all that stuff.
Well, I just think it's great. So you start off with guitar camp, and you work your way into the concert, then you head on right into More Than Conquerors Music Camp. And now, one last time, Brent, because we're about a minute away from our break here. What's the cost to register? How long is that going to be open for? All those good details.
So music camp, there is a cost to music camp. It's $40 for each student, but then that goes down with price break. If you have more than one, then it goes down. And there's I think a max. I think I'll say $75. I think per family. We don't want
wow!
You know, if you got 5 or 6 kids, we want you to send all 5 or 6 kids and not have to worry about that.
If
you're the Von Trapp family, we don't want you to feel like, oh, I can't send all my kids. So registration's open now. They can go online and register, and then of course they'll within a week or two of the camp we'll shut down registration. They can still come, but they just won't be guaranteed that cool T-shirt that they're going to get with registration and some of those things. But just hope folks will let us know as early as they can so we can plan for the group of kids, and we're going to have a great time.
Let me just add this too, CJ, and this goes for music camp and No Fret and VBS. We have a church, and our volunteer base loves people. They love kids. And so when they come, they're going to be taken care of in every way. Yeah. And they're just so excited, I know, about seeing these kids this summer. They're awesome.
Absolutely. And with that being said, sorry, my phone was just ringing because, well, our next guest is ready to come on in here. He's new, though, so he hasn't figured out how to. It's a little bit of a trick to get down here.
Sometimes, yeah.
I tell people it's easy to find out where I'm going to be, but it's harder to get to me if you really want to, you know? Yeah. 958, little bit of change, calvarycaresforyou.org. That's calvarycaresforyou.org. And make sure you sign up and be a part of all the fun that's waiting for you on Washington. And on Memorial Day, stop by the Walgreens, where you can scan the QR code, get registered, and all that good stuff, and we'll link you in the write-up on RiverBender.com. Mike, Brent, thank you so much for hanging out with me again.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime. I always love chatting it up with you. 9:58, a little bit of change, and we'll take a quick break. Top of the hour rolls around the corner right here on RiverBender.
No matter the season, Played Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Played Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over
20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Sorry, we aren't talking to Mike and Brett anymore. Oh, 10:03 as we're rolling around to top of the hour here on this 22nd day of May. It's a Wednesday in downtown Alton, and I got an hour, not even an hour. Adam, I'm ready to get going here, man.
We got short time here.
Cloud9 Bethalto Sports League. Man, this is doing really well because a couple of months ago I saw a couple of the posts and went, man, this is a cool idea. And then I looked, and all of a sudden, man, you guys kind of blew up overnight.
Yeah, we certainly did. It's, it was a thought in my head for about a year, kind of pitching what I wanted to do, and I got kind of like, I don't know, I want to say a lot of naysayers, but like kind of say, hey, we've tried this. It's not going to go that well. You can't probably get that going. And I'm glad I didn't listen to anybody. I said, you know what, after my daughter Addison was playing soccer at Gordon Moore, and we were just, all the teams we were playing were Bethalto teams. And I was born and raised in Bethalto, and I moved back here from Manchester, Missouri 3 years ago. And I thought, let's go to the boys club. Let's get you in there. Well, wait a second. We don't do that anymore. I was like, I used to be dropped off from 5 to 8 every night, staying there playing basketball, dodgeball, pool, whatever it could be, right?
Right.
And then I said, let's go, okay, what about soccer? No, we don't have soccer. Flag football? Nope, we don't do any sports leagues. Oh, what happened? We have more fields than ever now, and there's nothing here. No Corey League, and now it's Field of Dreams, and I'm like, that doesn't sit well with me. So I was doing some research and looking, and I reached out to the mayor through a mutual friend who said, hey, call Gary Boss and talk to him. And Gary's like, man, I love your idea. Let's do this. You'd be doing me a favor. We don't have a Parks and Rec here, so let's make it happen.
Right.
Lo and behold, we March 1st, rolled it out to the public on Facebook, and our first session out the gates for soccer, 260 kids. 260 kids. That's I was hopeful to get 100.
Right. Well, and that shows the testament to the need, because especially in today's world, man, everyone's busy. They don't have time to drive 25 minutes, and then wait another half hour and play their neighbor and then go back home.
Yeah.
And all of that. We just don't have time for it anymore.
No.
So to have something in your own neighborhood, your own backyard's got to be really crucial for the development of your youth too.
Yeah. I mean, for just like that, if you're running 5 minutes late and you have to go to Godfrey from Bethalto, or if you're coming from Edwardsville, you might as well say, I'm not making that game.
Exactly.
But the same situation for Godfrey. If Godfrey's got to come all the way down to Bethalto,
True.
I get it. But, Bethalto's a sports town, and we've always had sports there. And
Come on in here. It's always fun when we do that. We just start. Come on in here whenever.
Yes.
How are you today?
This is my wife, Kate.
Kate, nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah, we being a sports town and that, having that all there to always grow up and play in. I talk about the boys club. My dad was always the coach for my teams and that. And, not for these kids to have that growing up in that memory of saying, we play at boys club, we play at Gordon Moore, we play at Godfrey, or you have to travel an hour away and you're playing select, you're paying such high fees, and some of these kids just want to get out there and play and then enjoy the rest of the Saturday with their family swimming or other friends. So just having that 1 hour there, get in there, get out, play, get off the iPads, have fun, go back. And yeah, I want us to grow up and talk about, hey, Cloud9. You remember playing Cloud9?
Well, you're right. So a couple of things there. Number one, for select players too, sometimes select players just want to break from their main sport because they're traveling the country. And I was in that boat for years where you just keep traveling. You're like, man, I just want to play baseball and have fun and enjoy with my friends for a summer.
Exactly.
That's the opportunity that you have.
Exactly right. I mean, we're taking from beginners to advanced players. I mean, I don't care how great you are. If you just I want to play with my buddy Joe. I want to play, and he's not on the select team because the parents don't want to pay $1,000 and they don't want to travel 2 hours away on a Saturday and then 2 hours back to play 2 hour game. Now you're 6 hours out and your Saturday is wasted.
Completely, it's gone.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, and we've had so many parents just thank us in general, saying thank you for doing this. My son's 10 years old, and never had the opportunity to play soccer yet. That didn't sit well with me.
Well, and on top of that too, following up with just the league and saying I'm playing with Cloud9. We talked on the phone. My grandpa started a soccer program in 1971 in Alton, and now he's gone and Bill's gone, and the generations change over, and it happens. But whenever it was in the height, there was 1,900 kids, almost in that league, 1,200 years ago. Yeah. But you hit it right on the head. Every one of those kids were from parents that played in the league, and they had all this fun being there, and they were playing for Park and Rec, and they were on the Daredevils or the Ladybugs, and all this stuff, man. And that's what really grew their love, not just for sports, but for their community too.
Absolutely.
And I think you're onto something really cool here.
Yeah. We, right now our soccer, we've got 2 more weeks. We're taking this week off due to the holiday. We've got a tent coming up at the JC Fair in Bethalto, the Carnival.
This weekend,
This weekend, yeah. We'll be there Friday and Saturday. We are doing baseball, softball, t-ball. That starts June 11th on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're trying to grow that. We've got T-ball pretty well set in there. We need to get some more first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth kids in there to grow our league a little bigger. We have flag football. Flag football is huge. We've already got 100 kids enrolled in that.
So are you ready for this? A couple years ago when they were starting flag football somewhere else, I went, that is the dumbest idea. No one's ever going to do flag football. I have never been more wrong in my life, and I'm glad I am wrong.
Missed that mark, didn't you?
Right.
Yeah, that's huge. We've got plenty of teams there, but I'm always needing more kids, right? Our June, we start June 15th. We play on Saturdays. We're going to take June 29th off in the 30th because we're doing a 3v3 soccer tournament. That 3v3 soccer tournament, we're going all out. We're going to have 12 fields, 12 refs. It's 2 12-minute halves. We have custom-made Cloud9 soccer balls that'll say 3v3, 2024 3v3 soccer champion, and these will be size 5 for the older kids, size 4 for the younger kids. So instead of having a trophy collecting dust and saying, this is what I won, you actually pull it out of the bag. Hey, this is what I won, man.
Right.
It's bragging rights right there.
So let's hold this right here for a tease. I'm making you wait because I got to pay a quick bill and thank some of our sponsors. Let me fill you in on Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling. Last year, Denise Sparks talked to me. She said, CJ, I'm taking on the big dog because we were all getting tired of the way our trash was being handled. Sometimes it wouldn't get there. Sometimes the truck never showed up. I bought my first house, and it took 7 months for me to even get a trash can. There was a lot of things happening in this community, Adam. So Denise said, let's do it. She took on the big guy, and that's what she did. For 30 years, she was already the queen of junk. And if you have that hot tub that's been out there since, the Bush administration and the neighbors getting ready to report you because there's weeds growing in it, call Denise Sparks. Or if you're getting tired of your trash sitting there and those raccoons just going into town, get a part of the weekly trash service. Now, if you're in Alton, well, we can't really do that with our municipal contract, but you have that. But if you're in Bethalto and all of those great neighboring communities of Alton and Morrow, Cottage Hills, you name it, Bunker Hill, Godfrey, go to sparksjunkremoval.net. You'll save money on your bill, and you'll be a part of an organization that cares about community with those free community Christmas tree pickups, all of that free, all that curbside opportunities that she gives you with just dropping your junk off on the curb. They'll pick it up. And what I think is cool, if you have someone that's older and doesn't want to leave their house because they just lived there for 60 years and that's their spot, they'll go into their kitchen, grab all their trash for them, bring it out to the bin for them, and take it to the landfill. And that's how they go above and beyond for their clients, and they'll do the same for you. Meet the queen of junk today by going to sparksjunkremoval.net, and don't forget to tell her that you know who sent you over their way.
No matter the season, Played Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Lennox.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Lennox products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back. Hank Williams talking about family traditions, and you'll create one with the Cloud9 Sports League in Bethalto. And coming up in just a few short weeks, we're talking the 3v3 soccer tournament that I rudely interrupted on because I had to pay a bill and thank my sponsors. But now that we're back to the regular scheduled programming, the floor is yours, Senators. Fill us in on this.
All right, well, you want to give a little information about our 3v3?
Yeah, so the 3v3 tournament is going to be held on June 29th and 30th. We are going to have a huge event. We're going to have bounce houses. We're going to have a dunk tank, the the skills challenge. Yeah, we're going to have those where the kids can come up. They can pay a certain price for it, and then they're going to do all these skills.
And they'll get a custom-made size 2 3v3 skills challenge championship ball.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It'll have our logo on there and everything. So they look awesome, what we've come up with.
And have the public gotten a taste or a preview of them? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I like that a lot.
That's one of the championship soccer balls. If you zoom in, you can see. Look at that bad boy.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we're still toying around. We're still toying around with a few different logos. This one I'm kind of going to switch up, I think, but I like how we just have added a little blue onto the soccer ball and that. But we're going off. These are expensive because we want you got one opportunity to do this right, and that's it. And
You're right.
Show off and show out. And that's what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
We want everything to be perfect. We don't take any shortcuts.
Well, and with that being said, too, when's the earliest folks can start registering?
Now.
Can they?
Now.
Oh, now. How do they do it?
Through our website.
And what's that website called?
The website is Cloud9BethaltoSportsLeague.com.
Cloud-9.
Yes, put the dash, please.
I'm testing it.
Check it out. Watch this when you see it come up.
Yeah, you'll have to see what...
Oh, I got to type right. So sorry, guys. I'm not the best typer out there, and I work in a digital. They get so mad at me because I write on paper still. I'm a pecker.
Yeah,
I'm a pecker.
Same here.
That could have been taken out of context, but
I tell everybody the same thing. I'm a pecker.
So right now I'm on Cloud-9 Bethaltosportsleague.com. I'll even show it to you on the screen here. And all you do is scroll on down, $200 per team?
Yep, $200 per team. Max roster size is 6. Minimum is 3, obviously, because you're playing 3v3. 105-foot by 75-foot field size. 6x4 goals, no goalies. This is fast action, 2 12-minute halves. Then you'll have a break, and you go do the skills challenge at your own pace. 5 different skills challenges. You have kindergarten, you have kindergarten boys girls league, first, second boys girls league, third, fourth boys girls, fifth, sixth boys girls, seventh, eighth boys girls, high school boys girls. Then it goes 19 to 29 co-ed. 30 to 39 co-ed, 40 to 49 co-ed, and 50-plus co-ed.
We got to get a Riverbender team in this. I'm going to get the team down there for some 3v3.
For sure. I mean, you're wearing a Brazil shirt. That's got to be a soccer shirt.
Yeah, right. So, I had some fun in soccer and all that stuff. With that being said, as you see on your screen, the registration is open. You click on that enroll button, and it'll take you to it. Now, late registration, June 20th through the 26th. Now, regular registration does end on June the 19th, so you got a couple of days left to make sure you get your teams lined up and do it. However, if you register late, there's a little bit of an extra charge, and that's just for processing and all that stuff.
When you do register, we're trying to get everything gathered, the schedules out there and everything, so it's a lot more work when we have to fit teams in there. And it is a bigger fee. It looks like it's $100, but when you boil that down between 6 people, it's not that much. But don't take that, guys. Make sure you get in early so we can get this thing scheduled properly. We're going to have 12 fields, 12 refs. We're going to have a cook on site, barbecue ribs up. We're going to have pork steaks. We're going to have hamburgers, hot dogs. We're going to have a dunk tank. we're gonna have our sponsors there with
Is
cooling
is
booths.
Brian going to be in the dunk tank?
He should be, right?
Yeah, he should be.
I mean, he better be in there for a while. I know he'd love it on his TikTok video. Dorky dad.
I couldn't imagine what he'd create with a dunk tank clip.
Oh,
you know,
man.
oh my, he's a genius when it comes to some of that
70,000.
stuff.
She just created a TikTok page for us last night. I don't know how to do it, but I sent him a message. He goes, "Hey, I'll help you out with it." I'm like, "Let's go."
You know, it's so funny because Brian never tells people about his following on TikTok. I mean, it's incredible.
Massive.
It makes me humbled, you know, because I'm like, and here I am with 50,000 followers. Now, did you guys ever think you were going to operate a sports league? To just be serious with you,
No.
She was not for it at first. I have always had a passion for sports, and knowing that I'm coaching my daughter, and my son is 2 years old, and our son, 2 years old, he's he'll be playing sports, and I just thought, if I'm going to be at these games, spending my time, I can't just sit there on the sideline. And I barely did. Within 2 weeks of her there on the FC team, I kind of jumped in and started coaching, helping, and then I took that over with Zach, and we've taken it from a team that scored 2 goals all season to a team that's gone undefeated. It scores 20 goals a game now.
That's great.
And we love it. And so my head was always, I want to be bigger and better than just a coach. And I wanted to leave a little bit of a legacy. And like I said, I want people to talk about Cloud9. Me and my wife got this started, and we got Cody Jones and his wife, Alyssa Jones, who are my cousin, Cody. They live 2-3 houses down from us. We immediately called them a week into it, said, we've bit off more than we could chew. We've blown up. We need your assistance. You guys then, they're like, let's do it. So it's a family business right now.
That's really cool. And Kate, going forward, what are you looking forward to the most in the growth of just the league overall?
I mean, everything. This has been amazing. Just everything we hear back from the parents, even grandparents who come up. I'm pretty much in the concession stand every Saturday. So
I bet.
I see a lot of faces, same ones, and they just rave about how great it is, and honestly, it's amazing. It's been a lot of work, but I'm really glad that he had this crazy idea and drug me into it.
Good job, Ed.
We don't have any free time anymore.
Well, and it brings another sense of community pride too, and really,
for sure.
It's a really great thing. And you guys can stay up to date by going to Cloud-9 Bethalto and you can see the latest. Make sure you register for that 3v3 tournament. RiverBender.com. We'll link that in an article that will come out next week, and we'll take care of it on that end of things too.
Our baseball, softball, t-ball registration is our Facebook page, Cloud-9 Bethalto Sports League Facebook. So please go there.
Is that still open for baseball?
Yes, baseball's still open until Tuesday. Then we're done.
Okay.
And football, flag football till Tuesday. We're running it past the carnival. You can only register on Facebook. We haven't just click the link; it'll take you right in. But we had so much time. We've had to work on this website that we can't seem to fit that in time. And that is where all of our update stuff comes, but we're really going to get this website built out where everything comes through. It's going to be like ESPN. It's going to show the kids who scored goals and who won that game, and it's going to be, just scrolling across stats and everything. That's cool. Yeah, we're going to do really TikTok videos, interviews with kids that, score, some goals or assists or have a great game. We're just going to try to give the kids that sense of pride and joy of being there. And when you played a tournament, you were excited. Tournaments made you feel special, and that's what this 3v3 tournament we're trying to do, is make everyone just get out there, have a great Saturday. And we may have to do Friday night if we get too big. Right. But we get so many comments on our concession stand. We offer Blue Ice Creamery slowly there. We have, like I said, a full-on chef. My uncle used to own a Boyd's restaurant down here. He's cooking there. And we get so many talks about with our damn concession stand. We have so many different options there. We sell shirts. We sell hats.
That's awesome.
Tumblers, little knockoff Stanleys.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, we're going all out, man. And we're going to have stickers for cars. So that just helps us get the word out more.
Well, and too, it shows that you guys, the passion's there for this, and for any parent that goes, do I have to worry about, the league being here next year or, any of those? Hell yeah, we'll be, and it ain't going nowhere.
Right. We'll have fall soccer coming up, and we hope to double that 260 to 500 and just keep on going. And we've, like Kate said, we've had so many comments. People reach out to us. We've had even a parent just donate money just because. They're like, look, I love what you're doing. Let me just donate you money. I'm like, we take sponsorships. No, I just want to donate. I'm like, okay, that's amazing that we had this parent do this.
And just for my records real quick, where are we playing these games at?
Oh, yeah. It's off of Stadium Drive in Bethalto. It's about maybe 0.4 miles away from CM. There is no physical address, unfortunately. It's called Sports Complex 2. Sports Complex 1 is off Culp. That's where CM plays all their games. Right across the bridge where you can see it from 255, both the fields. We're off Stadium, they're off Culp. And we have 4 baseball stadiums. We have 6 soccer fields there right now, and we're trying to grow even that much more. We have all the proper size soccer goals for the kids. We have 6.5 by 12s for first and second. We have 7 by 21s for third and fourth. A lot of places just use the 8 by 24 goals because they don't want to pay for that. That's not fair to put a first grader in an 8 by 24 goal. They can't make a shot.
No.
So we've got it all done right.
And it's really good. The reason I'm asking, do you have internet out there?
Yes, we sure do.
Might have to stream that tournament.
That
would be great.
And I commentated. I do that. Just like we do for Alton and Marquette games and all that.
We can let you step in and ref a few games and run with your
Oh, no, I'm done. I already got my referee's license, and that was enough for me. I'm sticking to coaching. But we'll have to talk about maybe live streaming the championship day or something. That'd be fun as hell to do.
Sunday's going to be the championship. If we get enough teams, right, A and B flights in that group, then we'll have them at the top 2 advance and play a playoff game, then a championship game. But it's all going to depend about the participation we get and the number of teams we get in there.
We'll talk about. What do you think? I hope my boss is watching. What do you think? I think we could get it done. I don't know. We'll make a few calls and we'll get this sucker done for the 30th.
Yeah, man.
With that being said, guys, thanks for stopping by. I know that we got more things to get accomplished today, and it's really cool to learn about this and just see that a younger generation just passionate about bringing the sense of community back to things, because that's something that we've been missing, not just one town, but all over the place lately. So that's awesome. And anytime you need to come on the show, share the message, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, great. That'd be perfect.
Yeah,
yes.
thank
Anything
you.
to spread the word. Come check out Cloud9, guys. You won't be disappointed.
No problem. And that is Cloud-9, BethaltoSportsLeague.com to register for 3v3. Baseball, flag football, you go to their Facebook page, you register there. Before we take a quick break, a little bit of business. One of our best partners is Alton Little Theater as they embark on their 91st season. So Alton Little Theater, if you guys didn't know, is the longest, most continuous little theater in the state of Illinois and almost the country. I think it's top 3 for continuity. And what's really cool is they're starting off their 91st season all for the kids. It's basically a Disney tribute with princesses, a cabaret concert. Nick the Pancake Guy's going to be flopping those Mickey Mouse pancakes all over the place, and going to be having a good old time. But their first musical is Oliver, which is going to be hitting the stage in August, and they need you there. So what you need to do is go to altonlittletheater.org, get your tickets for the 91st season, and you get Oliver, that Disney tribute, and you get to enjoy the season that is the 91st. Plus, Rocky Horror, you got to say the R on that. It really gets you in trouble there, you know.
Yeah.
A midnight showing of it on Halloween awaits you in that season ticket price. All the fun and the Christmas Carol, you name it. You just got to call the box office, 618-462-3205, and don't forget to tell them that CJ and Riverbender sent you over their way.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Even on a jet plane, I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I've let you down. So many times I've played around. I tell you now, they don't mean...
Oh, 10:30. That's good. I like that. 10:31. Welcome back to the show. Nathan, how do I say your last name, man? I have never asked that before.
No, it's okay. It's Kerpan.
Kerpan.
Yeah, it doesn't look that way. It's not how you spell it, but it's how you say it.
I said Kerpan earlier. I thought I was giving you some fanciness to it.
There we go. Yeah, the old commercial with the mustard.
Yeah.
The gray poupon, whatever.
Right.
I was like,
You're
oh.
right. Poupon.
People used to say that back in the day when I was in school.
Or the potpourri, you know.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Good times.
Well,
good times.
You know, Nathan, you're at the North Alton Godfrey Business Council, and man, at every meeting, and always a part of those community events. And I was hearing you talk a little bit about some of the things that you're working on, and I very proudly got up and said, well, folks, I was volunteering for this soccer team, and I have failed to do my job at the end of this week. I need some guests, and thank you for stepping up to the plate.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
For the record, I want to say that Karen Wilson was an excellent Zeke J. Bush in the loading dock.
Oh, yes. She did a fantastic job. Not quite so many hijinks, but as Zeke, but nonetheless, she did a great job.
I was called the right name.
Yes, you were. I even knew who I was that
Exactly.
day.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, Nathan, fill me in on your time at Benchmark Mortgage. Number one, how'd you even get involved in the mortgage industry?
Great question. Candidly, I was very fortunate to start off a sales career in my teens. And that sales career landed me in the financial services business early on. And being a blue-collar kid from Wood River, Illinois, I quickly found the tool known as a mortgage, whether that was to help people reconcile and set up better financing for their needs, because this was the early 2000s. Matter of fact, went full-time in the mortgage business back in 2001. Oh. So here we are 23-plus years, going on 23-plus years later. And that time was when rates started going down, which everybody's hoping and praying for again during this season. And so getting into financial services meant, how can I help people set up better for their goals, their dreams, with the resources they have? And mortgage was just a great tool that then I quickly fell in love with helping people buy homes.
Well, and it's amazing to me because last year I was just telling you buying my first house. It amazed me of what that could bring to what that could do to your life. I mean, it's not just a place to live and put that chapter and your roots down. I mean, it's a catalyst to personal financial freedom and growth too, in a way.
Well, and there's so much to that. And my approach to everything finance has always been the coach approach to things. And so when we come alongside people, we really like to help them take that perspective and be a champion for home ownership. And, there's a lot of cliche things, and it takes time to build equity, but home ownership is that catalyst, whether it's a catalyst for the community, because guess what? You're going to buy, you're going to make it your own. You're going to take pride in that community. Let's face it, when you rent, you're like, that maintenance is the landlord's deal, not my deal. And the landlord doesn't know to maintain it because you're not calling and complaining about it.
Well, and even if you do around here, if it starts depending on the landlord, they ain't going to do it anyway.
Well, that can be. You gotta kind of strike gold in that department if you want a good one.
But it's just, Nathan, it made so much sense because I did the math and I thought, well, I want my first place. And I'm like, well, do I want to rent or do I want to buy? And because of the job here, I was blessed enough to have a little bit to kind of build up my credit enough to where I could do the first time home buyers and really get through everything. But because I didn't have $20,000 to put down on a house, who does right now for a lot of people?
Exactly. A lot of people don't.
So I found the program, but after I did the math, if I wanted to rent a place for the price of my house, I don't even know if I would have 2 doors. And I'm not even being funny about it.
I think what we were laughing about was the maybe non-optional roommates, right? The ones that just come in on you. Yeah, because, let's face it, rents are not getting any cheaper.
No.
And until, a lot of people are very... they keep questioning, is now the right time to buy? Is now the right time to own a home with interest rates being a little higher? They're not historically high. They're just high for what most people have experienced for the last 20 years. But ultimately, a testimonial, right, is just proof in concept. Your testimonial, a client of mine just recently said at closing, she literally just looked at me and said, this is $200 a month cheaper than living in the house that I was living in. I was renting, and they were renting in a not such a desirable location, and the home ownership was $200 less, and it was a much more desirable location. They got to pick that location.
Right. Well, and on top of that, Nathan, what I think's incredible too is I was having a conversation with one of my realtor friends, and I said, if for a young person that's single that didn't get married yet and wanted to kind of grow up a little bit before they went down the family side of life, they wanted to, let's say they started renting. How are they going to, unless they get a gigantic raise, save enough money to have a nest egg to buy that first home? Because once you get into that rhythm of renting, with the way rent keeps increasing around the area, like at almost an exponential rate, there's no way that, especially with groceries and everything else, you can even put back that $200 to keep adding up each month.
Well, and I get a lot of people that come to me, and the reason they are calling me is their landlord's raising the rent. And they're like, well, I've got to look at my options are. And there's a big misnomer out there even today in this world with all the programs. There's this misconception that people have to put 20% down. And while that's a great thing to do, it's certainly not even that common, honestly. I've helped people be first-time, second-time, third-time buyers, and they still not put 20% down.
Can I tell you what I put down in my house?
Yeah, please.
$500.
There you go.
I'm serious. That was just the idea. It was like, you don't have that much. We have the first-time home buyer. We need you to match this, and we'll take care of it from here. And that's what I did.
And we have similar things we do all the time. I helped a couple the other day. We actually wrote them a check for $250. So I'm sorry you overspent.
God dang it! You said you got into the industry in 2001.
Yeah.
I got to ask you how it changed after 2008.
Well, it was quite a bit different. Really between 2001 and 2008, we were blessed to be part of a mortgage brokerage, which at that time was really the in vogue thing because we had lenders beating down our door day in and day out wanting to compete for our clients' business. But honestly, it was probably late 2006 and through 2007 where I just felt this almost dare I call it, maybe the mortgage industry will poo-poo on me here, an ickiness of like, man, I just don't really, these loans that we're doing don't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
And so, and then quickly it didn't make sense, right?
For a lot of people.
Yeah, for a lot of people. And literally there were companies we were doing loans for and these are big, like top 3 lenders in the country that were open on Friday. And come Monday, I was getting calls from their rep saying, "Hey, I showed up and they took the keys to my company car." Like literally, they locked the gates, took my keys, and said, "Sorry, you don't have a job anymore."
Or a car.
Yeah, or a car. Yeah, or a car. And that story there, it just shows how quickly it shifted.
Yeah.
And so what we had to do is we had to make a decision. And we made a decision to partner with Benchmark Mortgage, which was a much larger broker banker. Now, and so a lot of people don't realize the difference. You've got your banks, you got your brokers, and you got your bankers. Your bankers get to live best of both worlds. We can broker out to outside lenders because while there aren't people beating down our door like they used to, they do still exist. There are specialty programs, things called non-prime, stuff that really caters to self-employed, to in-house programs where we're doing government financing like FHA, USDA, conventional Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, things like that. And so we can do everything we can inside, but if it can't be done inside, we can also do it outside. And that became the power of making sure our clients' experience was not only just taken care of up front, but before, during, and after became paramount. And here we are 16 years later,
Right.
actually this month, in that partnership still with Benchmark, working with them. And it's been such a great ride, and seeing Benchmark grow. We're now a top 20 lender in the country,
Right.
In the space, and we serve so many people, our heroes, especially in our community.
Well, and the thing is, too, I think the big point is it went from this kind of number system where everyone was almost just like a number in line to being a person that you were
Right, a
working
relationship.
with. Yeah, and that's really...
Yeah.
In your opinion, how important is establishing the relationship before you even talk about terms and conditions and anything else?
You know, it really comes down, how can you understand a person's goals, dreams, and resources if you don't establish some sort of baseline relationship? If it's just about resources, right? Transactional companies, or what I like to call MIC mortgages or MIC real estate companies, are just in it for the transaction.
Right.
They're just in it for the quick buck, the quick turn. Here's your cheeseburger next. Here's your cheeseburger next. And that's just never been our style. And that's what I mean when I say the coach approach is really coming alongside, like a young man I did yesterday, talking to him about his budget, because he just wanted to know what he was programmed to ask by the world, right? The world programmed to go, how much are you approved for?
Yep.
And I could have easily very sent him off for more than he wanted to spend with, I call it sticker slapping, just slapping him with a sticker with a $200,000 go find a house.
Yep.
But guess what? He wanted his budget. I could qualify him as a lender for $200,000. His budget was more like $150,000.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a $50,000 difference, and he goes out and falls in love with something that he really can't afford. Because his budget, what you spend, I was like, never let a lender tell you what you can afford.
Exactly.
I'm like, let's change the language.
Can I tell you a story? I was at my when I was closing on everything. There was a lady that called into the mortgage office, and it was loud enough to where I could hear it. It wasn't like I was privy to the conversation or anything. Just for everyone at home, it was seriously I could hear.
I
it.
didn't do as long.
Yeah, he did not, by the way, but I could hear it.
He wished I would have. But.
Yeah, I do actually, but I could hear it through the phone. And, what happened is this individual was on Zillow, and they had one of their online mortgage brilliant genius encyclopedias say you're qualified for like a $300,000 home. And I don't know what happened, but she thought that there was like no paperwork she needed to provide at the final back end of things.
Oh,
and
goodness.
so, the phone conversation was, well, I was approved for this much.
Yes.
And the response was, but you can't afford half of that.
Right, yeah.
And there's nothing that reflects in statements from the bank.
Well, and I really despise the bait and switch.
Yeah.
Because Zillow's a marketing company.
It is.
Now, while they may have licensure and other fiduciary responsibilities these days, they still treat themselves like they're just an advertising agency. And as an advertising agency, their goal is to get you to call. Their goal is to get you to click a button, become a lead in their machine. And what I've noticed, not to point them out specifically, but this was off their website, is they're really good at making very expensive homes, very fancy homes look super cheap, way cheaper than they could ever be. Not even, and I'm talking erroneous information like insurance estimates. They were showing like $30 a month for insurance.
Oh, yeah.
On homes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, That's a $300,000 house. Sorry, I'll call my buddy Rick over at State Farm. I don't think that's not gonna work. Right.
Well, hell, that's what I pay for my house, and it's 1,000 square feet. There's a reason for it.
Yes.
It's amazing to me, and I know I was wanting to talk to you about owning versus renting, but I wanted to highlight that too because it shows why giving you a phone call and maybe just even having a chat,
just a conversation.
Really,
and that's what it is. Connect with us, have a conversation. No obligation, candidly, but I think what you'll find, and we've been told this by clients that have bought and sold with other people and financed with other people over the years, they didn't realize what they were missing by not working with a coach, right? By working with somebody who was just really sort of just filling the boxes on the paper or application and getting the job done. And I'm not saying those people didn't get the job done. There's plenty of people that get the job done, but somebody will come alongside and point out the pros and cons of different programs. That's what we do. Point out the good, bad, and the ugly about it, because let's face it, a mortgage, now the industry's going to get me here, a mortgage is a necessary evil.
Yeah.
If you could just write a check for a house, you'd do it, and you wouldn't. It'd be a much smoother deal. But let's face it, it's cost prohibitive.
Yep.
But that's some of the differences.
It's just really interesting. And as we get back to the renting and owning conversation, which I think is a very important one for anyone to have.
Yeah.
Whenever Matt, is it age dependent for you on renting versus owning?
As far as a right and a wrong time, I wouldn't say it's age dependent. Sometimes there's just seasons of life dependent, right?
Okay.
So there's a right and a wrong time to own a home, right? And if you have the resources to own and maintain, and maybe there's a physical capability even, there's a season of life where you just physically can't maintain that home, then that maybe becomes a season to shift, right? Or have some extra help. But resources are what really are the key. You can't just have pie in the sky goals and dreams, right? You've got to have those resources as well. And until rent becomes cheaper than buying, right?
Yeah.
Buying's going to make sense. And what I tell people today is lock in the price of a house.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. What you did last year when you
just
bought.
told me about this.
Yeah, is lock in the price of the home. You're not going to have to pay it again. Right. You paid it once. You're good to go. Yes, if you want to move along, that'll happen. But you locked it in. And yes, your financing isn't 3%. But guess what? These rates are more realistic. And even more realistic thing is, and I'm a Dave Ramsey Master Financial Coach as well, by the way, so you get that as a bonus to who I am and what I do. But you're not supposed to be in debt the rest of your life. So 7% rate, if that encourages people to get free from the system, right? Free from the man, because mortgages, 30-year mortgages especially, they take a long time. 30 years is a long time.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's get that in place. Let's save you money on your rent. Let's take some of that savings, not only set it aside for maintenance and different things like that, but let's legally rob the bank. Legally rob the bank by paying extra on your mortgage and getting paid off sooner.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and now take me through that part of it too, because I don't think that was a surprise for me whenever I was going through that. Whenever I get hit with I'd pay off hit it with more, pay interest off as quickly as you can, and you're taking years off the back end of your loan. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, I call it the power of a cup of coffee. These days, people spend so much money on coffee.
That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure.
So they're spending so much money on coffee. Well, what if you re-provision maybe half of that budget? I don't know what people spend, but it's $50. If you have a $100,000 mortgage, believe it or not, $50 a month extra in principal can literally shave almost 7 years off a 30-year loan.
That's incredible. Well,
that's 84 months.
So are you ready for this? Let me hit you with something real quick.
Yeah.
I spend $20 a day at a convenience store. Okay. So multiply that. That's $100 a week.
Yeah.
Because I don't go during the weekend. So you got $500 a week times 4 weeks in a month. Well, if I would put that all towards my principal, I don't know if I'd even be 7 years. I think that'd be a lot more money that'd be taken off the back.
You'd probably more than cut your loan in half.
Yeah.
So, you'd be less than a 15.
But isn't that wild to think? When you said that, that's immediately where my mind went to.
And I think what happens is, as consumers, we tend to think regular math.
Yeah.
Right? And regular math says, well, if I'm going to pay it off in half the time, I have to double my payment. And we immediately discount
It's
that.
thrown out the window
Yeah,
immediately.
we immediately
Hell, I
throw it out
can't
the
do that.
I'm not going to do that. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you expect me to do? But interestingly enough, and it's just simple math, is the power of compound interest can be used against you or used for you. And I'm not against the industry. Obviously, it takes care of my family.
Right.
But the 30-year mortgage is just this bit of a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
So you've got to pay extra. You've got to make other investments. You've got to, I mean, there's certain right and wrong times to do that as well, because there's arguments there. But the reality is, guess what? If you walk into your job, and say you walked into your job one day, and the boss decided to be a little ornery, like they can be from time to time.
Yeah.
And you didn't have any debt. All you had to worry about was paying for groceries, your light bill, things like that. And you just said, you know what? I don't need to put up with this, boss man. Right? I don't need to put up with this. And you don't owe anybody a dime. How much easier is it? It's like, where are you going? Well, guess what? I don't know anybody anything, so I have no reason to be here
See
where
you
I
later.
don't need to be.
Exactly.
And so freedom.
Don't worry about that, John. I am in debt up to my eyeballs, but I'm going to work with Nathan, and we're gonna.
Sorry, John.
So I'm stuck here for all of you that are just tired of the laughing here. But I got to work with Nathan a little bit more to get that taken care of.
Yeah.
Whenever you're meeting with your clients, what's it look like after the fun of buying the house is all said and done?
Yeah.
And because I'm for a lot of us, like I get
You just move
maybe
on.
yeah. So my initial one sends me a letter and all that, and that's cool.
Sure.
It's just but my current mortgage company and lender, I don't think I've ever heard from.
Right. They're not calling you unless you haven't paid the payment.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
What we do a lot of is we make ourselves available and do at least a couple hours of financial coaching a year, are actually complimentary.
That's cool.
So we make ourselves available for that. So a lot of people take us up on that when it comes to the confusion behind property taxes, confusion behind maybe escrow reconciliation, or it may just be, hey, how do I better structure my budget? I need an outside sounding board to, bounce this off of and tell me I can. I mean, I had a young woman and her family contact me a while ago, and she was rather adamant, like, I don't even have $15 to my name at the end of the month.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And after having a conversation, really being an encourager, giving her a framework for building a budget, she came back 60 days later and says, you know what? I've been putting away $300 a month. And to go from that mentality of, I don't have $15 to my name every month, to successfully putting away. And actually, she started even doing more. She goes, I think I can do more. And so all she needed was somebody to encourage her. And so whether that's on the front end or the back end, these are just additional things that we can offer.
Well, and it's invaluable because we don't, and hell, man, you and I have all heard this. Why aren't they teaching how to write checks in high school and all that? Well, they aren't. So you got to find somebody.
Financial literacy, right?
And that's huge. But I mean, you don't have really that at high school.
It takes a mentor.
Yeah.
I mean, what you have is, as a coach, we're mentors.
Yeah.
There's a difference between mentors and advisors. A lot of advisors don't always subscribe to the things they're teaching, advising on, right? Yeah. Whereas a mentor or a coach in our department says, look, we're actually subscribing to this. Here's some examples. And that's where I'm not a big fan of touting the 25 plus years I've been in the financial services business, let alone the 23 in the mortgage. But there's a lot of experience and wisdom and stories and whether success or failures, some of those even being my own success and failure.
Right.
So that's a really big key.
Absolutely. Nathan, I've had a lot of fun. I told you 15 minutes, and I think we blew well on by that, and I'm almost out of time here. But seriously, if you want to come back and keep talking about this, it's a really important topic.
Absolutely.
And if we can keep really encouraging folks, and it's,
it's a big part of our economy.
And and the thing is, too, it's a big part of our, especially here in Alton, where, crime, the percentage of crime, 70% comes from rental units and all those things. And that's just, it's not me making that up. That's an absolute fact. So if you combine all of that and realize for your family's safety, for your safety, and all these things where you could put your own homestead down, and there's great landlords out there and all that and everything else.
Absolutely.
But it's all what's best for you. And if you can own your own piece of your American dream, why not
Absolutely.
do it?
That's why our motto is Champions for the American Dream.
It's no better way to do it. Nathan, thanks so much for stopping by, man.
Thank you.
I'm out of time. We'll see you back here tomorrow for Thursday, Friday without, well, I guess I do have a show. I'm just not live.
Okay.
Taped. But I'm going to
There you go.
Vegas here in a couple of minutes. So on that note, I'll see you back here on Tuesday. And just try your best to stay out of jail.
Oh, yes, he did. He said he would. I always leave.